expansion of solids and linear. Let us see first linear expansion. Consider a solid of length L. Let us say original length is L. On heating, obviously there is a raise in temperature. Suppose initial temperature before heating is T1 and final temperature, like let us say T2. The delta T is a temperature difference which is called as T2 minus T1. When you heat, what happens? Obviously solid means there are a closed pack of atoms or elements are there, very closed. When you consider the length L is there are more number of packed atoms are there. So obviously what happens, solids are expanded on heating. So there is called as a change in length is observed. Of course positive change in length. It is not contracted, it is expanded. Delta L is positive. So the change in length which is proportional to original length L. If length is L, original length is L, the change in length is also more, because there is a contribution of the each individual element in the solid takes place. There are more number of elements which are present, so that the delta L change in length on heating directly proportional to L. Then delta L is also proportional to a change in temperature. So delta L is directly proportional to delta T. The change in temperature directly proportional here. On this combination, what you write it as delta L directly proportional to L into delta T. Sometimes we refer it as delta L by L directly proportional to temperature. So this is called as a fractional length. Fractional length directly proportional to delta T. Right? Means delta L by L is equal to some constant into delta T. Some constant into delta T. What is that constant? I would write it as constant is alpha or A1, some textbooks. Delta L by L is equal to alpha into delta T. Right? From this, how do you write? Alpha is equals to delta L by L into 1 by delta T. Alpha is called as coefficient of linear expansion. Coefficient of linear expansion. What is the unit for this? If you are measuring in temperature in Celsius, delta L length gets cancelled. Alpha is measured in per degree centigrade inverse, or you can measure it Kelvin inverse, which is Kelvin inverse. In other terms, you can also write it as here delta L is equals to alpha into L into delta T. L2 minus L1 is equal to alpha into, of course, if you are considering initial length as L1, you can write it as L1 delta T into L1. Final length is equals to L1 plus alpha into delta T into L1. L2, if you want to calculate L2, then what do you write? L1 is taking common 1 plus alpha into delta T. So this is the final length on heating. Obviously delta T is positive here. If you want to calculate delta T from this, delta T is equals to delta L by L original length into alpha. Okay, this is delta T. Otherwise, you write it as T2 minus T1 is equal to delta L by L into 1 by alpha. So this is about linear expansion. In terms of length, it can be, suppose a lamina, rectangular lamina or a simple plate or a slab is heated. What happens? Along its length, expansion can be considered. Along its breadth, expansion can be considered. So total area, extension of area can be considered. In such a case, we will call it as the aerial expansion, and we will also make it beta or some A2 as a coefficient of aerial expansion can be considered. Area expansion. A slab is there. Area A. Extension in the area is delta A on heating. So what happens? Delta A is proportional to initial area A1. So if initial area A1 is considered, so delta A is proportional to A1, and next delta A proportional to delta T. What is delta T? Which is called as change in temperature. Right. So combination, that is A1 into delta T. A2 minus A1 is proportional to, this is proportional, A1 into delta T. A2 minus A1 is equals to beta A1 delta T. Right. What is, of course, we will see what is beta. A2 final area is equal to A1 plus beta into A1 delta T. A2 is equal to A1 1 plus beta into delta T. So how do you write beta here? Beta is equal to delta A by A1, change in area by original length, into delta T. So what is beta here? Beta is coefficient of aerial expansion. Coefficient of aerial expansion. What is the unit for it? Beta is per degree centigrade or Kelvin inverse. This is, earlier we had seen alpha. Alpha is related to length, beta is related to area. So beta is equals to 2 alpha. Of course, we will prove it in terms of mathematical, by using mathematical tools. Beta is 2 times of alpha. Coefficient of aerial expansion is equal to 2 times of coefficient of linear expansion. Similarly, we can see gamma, which is for liquids or any gases, of course solids. Gamma is a volume in terms of length, height, breadth, total can be expanded, then volume also expanded, increase in volume can be considered. That is, gamma can be seen as coefficient of volume expansion. Let's see that. Volume expansion. On heating, volume is increased directly proportional to V1, and the change in volume is directly proportional to change in temperature. Change in volume directly proportional to V1 delta T. Delta V is equal to gamma. V1 delta T, gamma is equal to delta V by V1 into 1 by delta T, right? So this is called as coefficient of volume expansion. What is the unit for this? Unit is per degree centigrade or per Kelvin or Kelvin inverse, right? And V2 final volume is equal to V1 common 1 plus gamma into delta T, right? This is a final volume, and gamma is equals to 3 times of alpha. 3 times of alpha. We'll prove it. This is also. Okay. So let us consider a cube on heating. What happens? The length, breadth, height can be increased. On heating, what happens? Volume is increased. Volume is increased. If we consider a copper or copper material which expands as a solid, which expands more about 5 times than or 5 times the glass expansion. 5 times the glass expansion. And gamma, which is called as volume expansion coefficient, is not, strictly speaking, it is not constant, but it is a characteristic of the substance. Characteristic of substance. Right. Now, it is seen that it is constant as observation only at high temperature range. It is high temperature range. You can see the simple graph. You can understand gamma is taken on the y-axis and temperature increasing, this one slowly increasing and almost stabilized, and as a constant as a gamma for copper as function of temperature. Right. So some solids can also be expanded in terms of volume. Let's see that different typical behavior of water, how it behaves. Generally, it behaves in a different manner compared to other liquids. On increasing the temperature, the volume is also increased, but a typical a certain range of temperature range, the water behaves in reverse manner. That is called anomalous behavior of water. Let's see that. Anomalous behavior of water. Water exhibits an anomalous expansion or anomalous behavior. It contracts, not expands. It contracts on heating between 0 degree centigrade and 4 degree centigrade. This is a range. Within this range only it behaves in a different manner. the volume of a given amount of water decreases as it is cooled from room temperature to 4 degrees centigrade. This is a normal condition where, let us say, room temperature is 27 degrees centigrade to 4 degrees centigrade. What happens? As temperature is decreased, it is cooled. What happens? Volume is also decreased. This is normal behavior, right? Now coming to the concept of below 4 degrees centigrade, what happens? Below 4 degrees centigrade, instead of decreasing the volume increases. This is anomalous behavior. Volume increases. And when volume is increased, what happens? Density decreases, and therefore the density decreases. Because density is equal to mass by volume. When volume is increased, what happens? Density is decreased. So when density is decreased, what are the advantages? Ice is less dense. So suppose wooden material is less dense compared to the other. So generally they float. Less dense bodies on the water, they will float. This simple phenomena is working here. This property is important. In environmental effect. Environmental effect. Right? How lakes, ponds, what they happen? Freeze at the top first. Right? The upper layer becomes top first, and lower layers are becoming like water. Only upper layer become icy so that they can be protected. If this property actually do not be, if property is not existed like this, what happens? Lake and all water becomes icy surface. When these are becoming icy surface, what happens? Inside the lake there are animals, fishes are there. They would be destroyed, because as the complete water is becoming ice, what happens? They would be destroyed, they would be died. So only the top layer is becoming icy surface, and lower layer is now becoming a water now. So instead of decreasing the volume, what is happening? Below zero, like 4 degrees centigrade, 3 degrees centigrade, 2 degrees centigrade, 1 degree centigrade, and 0 degree centigrade. When temperature is decreased, what happens? Volume is decreased. But what is happening here? Volume is increased. So when volume is increased, density is decreased. Rho will be fall down. This simple phenomena makes us the top surface becoming solid like icy surface. We shall see in terms of graphs also. Now, as a lake cools towards 4 degrees centigrade, water has, or near the surface, water near the surface loses heat energy. Losses heat energy. Where it losses? To the atmosphere. Atmosphere. And what happens? Becomes denser. Right. Denser means volume decreases. And what happens? Sinks. Next. And the warmer, let's say the warmer, less dense water near on bottom rises. So the warmer the less dense water near on the bottom rises. Now coming to the point. However, once the colder water on the top, once the colder water on the top reaches like below 4 degrees centigrade, reaches below 4 degrees, it becomes very less dense. It becomes, right, what happens? Less dense. So, well, less dense means volume increases. Volume increases. And what when it is it remains on the surface. It remains on the surfaces, of course, and it freezes. And it freezes. See, consider temperature on the x-axis, volume on the y-axis, volume of 1 kg water, volume of 1 kg water. Now see that as temperature is decreased, what happens? Volume should be decreased, but what is happening here? Temperature is increased, temperature is increased, volume is decreased. So this is 4 degrees centigrade, and beyond 4 degrees it is acting as a normal again. So this is the typical range actually. This is typical range. Now contradict to this one, let us consider density, temperature, density. What is the density of water actually? Normally density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. 1000 kg per meter cube. So what happens when temperature is increased up to this one, density is increased. What is this? 0, and this is 4 degrees. And beyond this, what happens? This is about other area. So 0 to 4 degrees, what is happening? Density is increasing. Density is increasing. So what is the value actually? What is this value? This is a value is 1.1 into 10 power 3 kg per meter cube, and this is 0.99985 kg per meter cube. So this is a reverse. So this is a typical behavior, helps us to make it ice. Generally observe that, and when you keep the bottles in the fridge, the first top surface becomes ice and bottom surface like water. So the top layer, upper layer of the water bottle, when you keep in a freezer box, it becomes icy surface on the top layer. Consider ideal gas equation. PV is equal to nRT or mu RT. At constant pressure, let us apply. At constant pressure, P into delta V. Of course, V into delta P becomes 0. Mu is a constant, R is the constant, and delta T. Right? Now, how do you write? P by mu R into delta V is equal to delta T. PV is equal to mu RT. P by mu R is equal to T by V. So substitute here, T by V into delta V is equal to delta T. Right? Delta V by V is equal to delta T by T. Right? Now, how do you write this one? Let us make it delta V by V by delta T is equals to 1 by T. And what is this? Fractional volume by T. This is gamma, coefficient of volume expansion. Just now we have seen coefficient of volume expansion. Gamma is 1 by T again. So what do you conclude this? Gamma inversely proportional to temperature. Gamma is dependent on temperature. Right? For ideal gas, at 0, suppose at 0 degree centigrade, gamma is equal to 3.7 into 10 power minus 3 per Kelvin, which is much more larger than solids and liquids. Right? Now, the coefficient of areal expansion is equals to 2 times of coefficient of linear expansion. We have to prove it. For this, I am considering a rectangular slab of length A, let us say, and a breadth of B. The area which is called as A into B. On heating, what happens? The length can be expected and to be changed, and breadth can be changed. On heating, length is increasing, like A can be increasing, then delta A be the change in length, and B can be breadth, delta B be the change in breadth of delta B. So how it can be calculated? Let's see. On heating, up to this is A, and this is called as delta A. and up to this is B. This is called as delta B. Right. So now how do you calculate? This is extension. This is extension. The red color dotted lines are the extensionals. See, this is 1 and this is 2 and this is 3. What 1 indicates that area. What is this? B into delta A. 2 indicates area. What is this? Delta A into delta B. What that 3A extension area is increases. This is a area A into delta B. Right. Now let us try to calculate total area A. Total area delta A is equals to 1 plus 2 plus 3 here. So what is first one? B into delta A. What is B? Delta A into delta B. And C is A into delta B. Right? Now we apply. What is delta A? What is delta B? How? Individually I am considering this is a length. This is a length. Suppose delta A is equal to A into alpha into delta T. Delta B is equal to B into alpha into delta T. Right? Now, what is B as it is? Delta A is A alpha into delta T plus what is delta A? A alpha delta T, B alpha delta T plus A into B into alpha into delta T. So something is AB alpha delta T observed to be taking common. Of course, I am writing this is AB means 2AB alpha delta T plus here AB alpha square delta T square. What is this? Delta A. Delta A is equal. So what is this? AB is a area A actually. Alpha delta T. Now here alpha value is very less actually. Now alpha square is there. This is neglected. Now what is there? Delta A is there is equals to 2 into A into alpha into delta T. Shall I write like this? Delta A by A into delta T is equals to 2 alpha. Change in length to original length by delta T. What is this? This is obviously coefficient of areal expansion, which is equals to 2 times of coefficient of linear expansion, that is proved. So one is given, we can calculate other one very easily.